All right, good afternoon. Here's a video going over our 3F notes on matrices. This should be pretty simple. It's going to get a little bit more complex as we do matrices as we go along, but the first part of matrices is pretty simple. So a matrix is what we're talking about here. A matrix is a rectangular arrangement of numbers in rows and columns. The dimensions of the matrix is just going to be the number of rows by the number of columns. Because the number of rows by the number of columns is the dimensions of a matrix. Okay, so if we have a matrix like this, where we have maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, and then something like that, this matrix would be 4 by 3. We have 4 rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3 columns, 1, 2, 3. Okay, number of rows by number of columns. Now, if we have two matrices that we want to add or subtract, that's very, very simple. We just add or subtract the numbers in the same corresponding rows and columns. And we can only add or subtract matrices that have the same dimensions, okay, that have the same, number of rows and number of columns. So, these two matrices are both 2 by 2, 2 rows, 2 columns, 2 by 2, 2 by 2. So we can add or subtract these matrices. So we'll just add 3 with -1, and then 0 with 4, and 5 with 2, and -1 with 0. So we'll add these two matrices up to get a new 2 by 2 matrix of 3 plus -1 is 2, 0 plus 4 is 4, and then you guys can do the bottom there. Okay, same thing if we subtract. Okay, if we subtract, we're going to subtract 7 minus -2, and then 4 minus 5, etc., etc. And so we're going to end up with another 3 by 2 matrix here after we subtract each corresponding piece. All right. A scalar is just a number that multiplies by a matrix. Okay, scalar multiplications involves just distributing the scalar and multiplying the scalar really. By all numbers in the matrix. So if we're looking at this here, we'll just multiply -2 by all these numbers, kind of like distribution, if you will. So we'll just multiply the number through all the things here. So multiply -2 through all those to get our new 3 by 2 matrix there. Okay, here we have 4 times this matrix plus that matrix. So we multiply 4 through there and then add them up. Pretty simple. So you guys have a little bit of time to sort of do that. And down here we have these 4 matrices, A, B, C, and D. So they're going to ask you to just here solve these problems out like so, and do that. So the rest of these matrices are pretty simple. So you guys can go ahead and get going on these. If you have any questions about how to do some of these bottom ones, let me know. But this is really pretty simple, pretty elementary, and nothing earth-shattering here. We could talk about these word problems again later in class if we need to. And that's all we have. So you guys take care and let me know if you have any questions.